Morning all, welcome to Thursday and welcome to another session of a Yogalates, online Yogalates. So what we're going to be doing today is repeating last week's leg series and just building from there with a couple more repetitions of the flow. So we're going to stay standing today. So a few more repetitions of that flow pattern itself, and then starting to bring in preparation for our Warrior 3 pose, which is a balance pose. It's quite a strong pose on one leg, but as I said, it's going to be preparation for Warrior 3. So we're going to, we're not going to be on one leg the whole time. It's quite a difficult pose to hold and to find your balance with. So we're going to be working up to that, getting our body into the right position and then adding balance elements to that. So that's the plan for today. So working through our leg series, adding a few more repetitions of the flow now that we've become a little bit more used to the pattern itself, and then looking at adding that Warrior 3 preparation in. So we're going to be staying standing today, and obviously doing some mobilization to start with, some standing stretches as well, bringing the Pilates element into the yoga class. So all you need is enough room to stand with a nice wide base, and definitely a non-slip floor, carpet, mat, whatever you've got handy. So just a nice safe space. Let's go when we're ready. So we'll start standing as we do. So focusing in here on the Pilates element of the class. So focusing on just mobilizing the spine, starting to open up down the side body here, and just having some trunk rotation and a really nice stretch out to start the session. Let's level up through those big toes. So draw your imaginary line and then have a little rock forwards and back on those feet. So just feel the balls of the foot, feel the heels as well. Everything just sinking down into that mat or into that floor there. And then we soften the knees just a touch, just so that the knees aren't locked backwards. We start to think about bringing our tailbone just gently underneath us and engaging the belly button to the spine. So just gently at the moment, because we're just starting our session. And maybe thinking about that squeeze up through the pelvic floor if we can as well, as though we're lifting up through both that front and that back passage. Let's broaden the chest and just slide the shoulders back and down. You can give them a bit of a wiggle, just let them feel lovely and heavy, and as though they're sliding down your back, and lifting that bit taller just into the crown of the head. So we really have built ourselves up to our full height. So your head is your top Lego brick on your pile. Just let the top Lego brick only just come forwards and sink that chin down into your chest. Nod that head up towards the ceiling without arching the back as we look up, and then just nod that chin again down into your chest. Let's take another little look up towards that ceiling. And then let's nod all the way back down again. And then have that little roll of your head side to side. So just rolling out the back of the neck there. Taking your time with that, probably one of my favourite moves, rolling up that neck, and then just bring that head back up on top. Bit of a peek over the right side, itchy nose, and then just come back through the centre, take that bit of a peek over the left one, and then come back to centre. You've got your heavy right ear. Oh, again, feels just super nice in the side of the neck, in that left side of the neck. And then just come up and nod that left one down. Just enjoy that stretch for a mo. And then just bring that head back up on top. Take a lovely big inhale breath to the top. Bring your hands together, exhale them to prayer. Inhale them up, exhale them down by your sides. Doing that one more time, inhale up, exhale to prayer, inhale up, exhale to your sides. So let's start to roll our spine down. So just draw that tummy in gently as that chin just rolls forwards. Feel the upper back following, rolling forward through the vertebrae. Just rolling to where you feel comfortable. Maybe where you feel that stretch in the hamstrings or the lower back. And then bending your knees a bit more and starting to work your way all the way back up. Inhale the arms up, exhale to prayer. Inhaling up, exhale to sides. Let's roll down again. So let's take the heavy chin. Collapsing the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Little pause at the bottom. And then start to work your way back up again. And then the last time, just inhale to prayer. Exhale, hands come down to the chest. Keep those prayer hands with a little bit of pressure of your palms towards each other and just rotate to the right side, but we're trying not to take the pelvis with us. Come back to the center. So you won't go very far at all. Just rotate the left side, just everything above your waistband. And then if you just come back to the center, take that little rotation one more time. So that nice trunk rotation. Come back to the center, round you go again, come back to center, inhale the hands up, and then let's just relax the arms down. Now before we move on, all I want you to do is step your feet a little bit wider, so they're not quite underneath your hips anymore, but they're still facing forwards. And I just want us to have that roll down of the spine again with the slightly wider legs. So we'll start with an inhale up to prayer, exhaling to chest, inhaling up, exhaling to sides, and now let's start to roll just like we did before, but with the slightly wider legs, giving us a slightly different feel. We might be able to go a bit lower. It's useful for me because I've got a space to put my belly in. And then just starting to work our way back up again. Take a last inhale to prayer. Hands together, bring them to chest. Lovely job. Right then folks, so how we're going to start today, I'd like you just to wiggle slightly to one end of your mat. So if you just take a bit of a wiggle down to one end of your mat, and then just restack those feet again. We're just going to start with opening that side body up. So we're going to take the foot that's on the outside of the mat, because you might have wiggled to the other side, so I won't use right or left. So the foot that's on the outside of the mat, I just want you to cross it over in front of that inside leg. So just cross them over slightly. Take your arms up, grasp hold of your outside wrist, so the wrist that's nearest the short edge of your mat, and just take a lovely side extension. So we've got a little bit of a balance aspect here as well. So do just try and focus your eyes on something that isn't moving and just stare at it, help with that balance. Come back to the center and then just exhale one more time into that side opener. So we really get the stretch right down from the hip by stepping that foot across. Lovely job. Come back. Let's just do that one more time. So just exhaling into that little stretch. And then just come back to center. Release those arms. We want to unstep our legs, but then we want to step wide across the body of that mat. So if we have our toes facing forwards to start, because we start in 5-pointed star, first thing I want you to do is draw the shoulders back over the hips. arms coming out to shoulder height. There's 2 more points of our star, and the head makes that 5th point of our star. Lovely. Just rotate right side for me. Come back to center. Rotate left side for me. Lovely. Coming back to center. Take your arms up above your head like you're framing your ears. Slide your shoulders back and down, and then we start to create our tabletop. Now as you come over, think long spine, soft knees, and pause there just for a moment. So we're trying to get that upper body as parallel to the floor as we can. So trying to lever from the hips. Come on up. Bring your hands together to prayer. Rotate to that right side one more time. Can't move the pelvis now, so we're restricted with our movement. So it's just a small rotation. Round you go left. Coming back to center. Take those hands up, frame the ears, slide the shoulders. Think about pushing your bottom out to the wall. Soften your knees, so just check they're not locked back. And just find that lovely tabletop. And then just come on up with those arms. Relax them down to your sides. We're going to step into Warrior Two towards that left side. So spinning those feet out, and you might be able to just kick your heel out a little bit on the right side as well. Feel as though you're rolling into the outside edge of your right foot, and then take that lovely lunge into that left side. So first repetition of the flow, so maybe we're not lunging quite as low yet. See how you feel. Let's take the arms up. And I want you to imagine you're stretching between both sets of fingertips. So you're really trying to lengthen away. Important to keep the shoulders stacked over those hips. Finding reverse warrior, so finding that hamstring on the right. Eye line comes up with the left hand if you're happy with that. And then coming back to Warrior Two. Left arm comes down to left thigh. Sweep round with that arm. Lovely big circles. So if you want to, you can watch your hand as it travels around. So again, just adds a little bit more of a balance challenge. And then let's just do that one more time. And coming back up to Warrior Two. Let's find Warrior Three. Let's find Reverse Warrior. Finding hamstring. And come back to that Warrior Two. Preparation for triangle pose. So what I want you to do now is just start to straighten through that left leg, but without locking the knee back. So we do need to keep that little micro bend. Feel as though you're pushing your hip out to the back wall and stretching those left fingertips forwards. Then we can create our triangle by taking the back of that hand, left hand, to the back of that leg. Maybe looking up towards the fingertips if that feels good. And then returning to your Warrior Two, I want you to sink. Now sink. Really get into that lovely lunge. Beautiful. Relax your arms, straighten those legs back up. Spin both of your toes out to 45 degrees. Warrior. Let's come up. So goddess pose, let's sink, 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 sink. Really want you to draw the shoulders back over the hips. So we don't want to be pitching forwards at all. I want you to keep stacked and keep the spine lovely and tall. Fabulous. Holding it there. Keep the knees soft, so keep that lovely big bend. Take your hands onto your forearms. I want you to dip your right shoulder down. So now the shoulders will come forwards. So I just want you to dip that right shoulder through the center, dip your left shoulder. Inhale through the center, dip your right shoulder. Inhale through the center, dip your left shoulder. Lovely. Come on back to the center. Let's straighten up. Stack the shoulders. Push up with the hands, straighten the legs. Release them there. Lovely. Turning for warrior two to the opposite side. So taking toes out to short edge, rolling into outside edge of foot. Find warrior two. Coming back, reverse warrior. Warrior two. Finding front of thigh with forearm. 3 lovely big circles, take your time. Opening up the body and just rotating that whole shoulder. So round we go. Lovely, do that one more time, so round we go. Lovely, coming back up, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Coming back, warrior two. Preparation for triangle pose. Straightening through that front leg, but keeping that little softness. Bend in the knee. The hips go back as we reach forwards with that front hand. So we have to get that extension forwards from the hip first to keep that spine long. Sliding back of hand down. Eye line up to fingertips if you like, or just keep looking ahead to keep the balance. And then warrior two. Last lovely deep lunge here. Lovely. And then we're going to straighten up to top, spinning out into goddess. So toes at 45s. Let's come up. Find prayer. Sink, 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 sink. Lovely. Super. So just holding it there. Keeping that lovely low sink. Let's take hands onto thighs. Dip that right shoulder so the shoulders will come forwards now. Inhale, center. Left. Inhale, center. Right. Inhale, center. Left. Back to center. Take hands to prayer. Straighten the legs, don't lock them though, coming up with the hands. And then over we go again into tabletop. Really think about pushing your bottom to the wall, all the way down with the fingertips if that's comfy. Relax head. And then we take a little jump in, or we walk our feet in, it's up to you. So you can either, I have to keep my knees out like a frog because of my belly, but you hopefully will have your knees pointing in between those elbows. Let's start to roll the spine up. Come up, 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 up. Lovely big inhale. Return hands to prayer. Inhale up. Exhale sides. Lovely job. Super, super, super. Lovely, well done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be staying in the centre of our mat. Now I just want you to have a little look behind you and see whether you've got room to extend your leg out behind you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step just down slightly so that I've got the doorway behind me. I'm not going to kick the wall. So just make sure you've got a little bit of room. Okay, so we're going to take, in fact what we'll do to keep our feet on the sticky mat for those of us that are, is we'll just turn side on. Okay, so we've just turned side on there. So let's take a lovely big step forwards with our right leg. So I want you to take a lovely big step forwards with your right leg. All of our weight is going to be coming onto our right leg as we come forwards into a balance. Come up onto your left tippy toes. You come up onto the left tippy toes. Let's reach up above the head. Frame your ears. And then I want you to imagine again that you're moving into your tabletop shape. So we do want to try and keep a long spine with the hips pushing back. Move that body weight over that right leg. I want your left one just to tip tap away from the floor, and then let the toes come back down again. So again, let's let that left one tip tap away from the floor. And we're going to do 2 more. Spread out those right toes. 1 more time, left toes, tippy tapping up. Releasing to floor, come on back up. Balls of the feet, relax your arms down for a second. Step in, level up those feet, sitting into chair pose in between, so let's come on up. Belly button draws in, frame the ears, sinking down into your chair. So maintaining that nice 45 degrees with the arms if you can, or if it's too heavy, bring the arms to shoulder height. And let's have a little push up and release the arms down to your side. So step back with your right one. Come up onto the balls of the back foot once you feel balanced. Let's come up, frame the ears, slide the shoulders, drop them down. Starting to think about pivoting over, taking the weight on that left leg. Belly button draws in as the right one comes away. Tip taps to the floor. And just a few more of those. So we're going to do 4 in total, so coming up. Remember to stare at something that isn't moving. Do 2 more. Do 1 more. Lovely. Bring that weight back. Arms come down, step in. Bring the arms on up into chair pose, so sit down. Lovely. Bring the hands to prayer. Take a little rotation right side. Center. Little rotation left side. Center. Up you come, straighten up. Relax the arms. Lovely. Okay, let's stand to face front. So just to finish, let's just ease off that lower back. So things like chair, warrior 3, quite a lot of holding work for the lower back. So we might just now want to give it a little bit of a stretch out. So just even up your feet. I want you to take the right one up and find that side extension. And then I want you to flip-flop to the other side. So lovely and loose. Just let that body move. Flip-flop over side to side. 1 more to either side. So let's go with the right arm up. Let's go with the left arm up. Then just bring both of your arms to your side. We're going to float the arms up to the shoulder, bending the knees on the way down into a lovely ski swing. Oh, so there's the relief for the lower back. Lovely. Just do 2 more of those. Just do 1 more of those. Lovely. Relax your arms. Take a lovely deep breath in. Hands to prayer, come down. Last inhale up. Exhale down. And then we finish in prayer, so we come on up. Hands together, let's come down. Slide the shoulders. Take your little bow. Finished with our morning practice for today. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks, and it got you moving, got you limbered up for the rest of the day. And I will see you guys. I'm not going to see you this afternoon. Unfortunately, I have a midwife appointment, but I will see you on Monday morning. So for Monday morning Pilates and stretch at 8:30. So it's a nice way to start the day. Any questions, folks, do please ask. Otherwise, stay well, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you all soon.